Hi, and welcome to day 3 of the Burned Out to Bliss challenge. I hope that you've been enjoying this so far and that you had a chance to watch video 1 and 2. If you haven't, I will have links to those videos in the comments. So thanks for sticking with me. Are things going more smoothly now that you've had a chance to make a couple changes in your schedule and do some things for yourself? I really hope that they are. The next step in making it run more smoothly and not being so harried all the time is planning. And I know planning is hard. we we don't like to plan. And with kids it's hard to plan because it seems like you spend all this time planning and then they just have plans of their own, or something happens and your plan just goes out the window. So I completely understand that, especially with younger children and busy older children. But a plan will make it easier, and for years, I thought that having plans was stifling, that it held us captive in this area, and we had to do this, and we had to keep on the time clock, and it took away all the creativity and flexibility and everything that I wanted out of homeschooling. But I've realized that really, when you have a plan, it gives you much more than it takes away. It gives you the flexibility because you have constraints to work in and you know that you're getting everything done. So, one of the big things that we face as homeschool moms is keeping everybody fed because let's face it, they're always hungry. So, it seems like you just finish a meal and they want another one. And when you're constantly scrambling to figure out what you're going to give them next or how you're going to make it makes it much more difficult, especially around dinner time when the little ones are melting down and you just are tired from the whole day. So I found that meal planning goes a huge way toward keeping my sanity. And I do fall off that wagon every once in a while. And when I do, I really regret it. So this is my little tidbit for not just meal planning, but organizing your day. If you remember, if you were in school, which I'm sure probably most of you went to public school, um, every Friday you had pizza. Every Friday we had pizza. You always knew on Friday what you were having. And sometimes there were different other things that happened on certain days. Even in college, we always knew that Tuesday was pasta bar. Now, that seems like it would get repetitive and boring. And I have to admit that for a long time I fought this because I read an article that said, just serve the same thing every day. Not every day, but every Monday you have this, every Tuesday you have that, every Wednesday. And I thought, well, that is crazy. We like lots of things. We don't want to get stuck in a rut. But really, it does work. It helps to have the predictability. It helps to have the rhythm. And having a plan per day doesn't mean that you need to eat the same thing every single day and that you're going to get bored. You can even change up your plan every month. What we found for us that works really well is that for each meal and each day, we have a theme. And the theme helps make the planning go faster because when I would sit down there with a whole calendar and I had to plan 3 meals for every day for an entire month, it was just mind-boggling and it was overwhelming and it was frustrating because I couldn't think of that many meals. That's at least 90 meals. So once we started coming up with themes, originally we started it just for dinner and now we've extended it to every meal because really, like in the middle of the day when you're trying to wrap up morning meeting and get the little one settled and work into afternoon classes, you don't need to be spending 20 minutes trying to figure out what to make for lunch. So the way it works, for instance, for breakfast, on Monday, we have something baked. My kids love baked breakfast cookies, peanut butter cookies, well, healthy ones, uh, banana bread, different kinds of muffins. And they would love for that to happen every day, but really it's just too much. And we tried doing that in the spring and we enjoyed it and they were all healthy things, but it was hard to keep up that rhythm. So I said, we'll still fit that in, but we need to kind of curtail when we do it. So for Monday now we have baked things, and that rotates. Some days we make breakfast cookies. Some days it's some sort of bread. Some days it's some sort of muffin. On Tuesdays We do oatmeal. Now, oatmeal might seem boring to have that every week, but sometimes I get fruit to put in it. They put in all different toppings. They're happy having it once a week. On Wednesdays is granola day, and that's because we have co-op early in the morning. I have to work before co-op, and then we teach all day long. I teach and they go to classes all day long. So I need something that we can just grab and go. I have yogurt, I have granola, it's breakfast. So I think you can see how that plays out. So every day we have a different theme. And my mind's going blank on what Thursday and Friday are. I know Friday is eggs. I don't remember what Thursday is. This is why we have a sign on the refrigerator, which is another thing that's great, because we made a chart and we put it on the refrigerator and we fill in the theme for each day. And then each month we sit down and just make a list of, especially for dinner, because that changes much more than the breakfast and the lunch. We make a list of what we want to fit into all those categories, and we keep it on the refrigerator so we know where to find it. Everybody knows what they're having. If they don't like it that day, well, then maybe their favorite is being served the next day. And it just helps everything move more smoothly. So if I'm not available or we're in a rush, we can just look at that and say, okay, today's burritos for lunch. That is my huge tip of the day, is find a theme for every day. And if you can, every meal. Now, if you have kids who only like to eat 3 or 4 meals and you just want to rotate them, that works too. It's not a matter of how many meals you plan, it's just a matter of having a plan. I remember there was this book when I first got married that I kept teasing my husband about. It was called A Man, a Can, and a Plan. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's a little cookbook that's shaped like a can, and every recipe in there is made just with canned goods and a couple other things you can find in the grocery store. So you just kind of throw it together, mix it around, and it makes something. But that is brilliant because you might not want to just eat things out of a can, but if you have a plan, it makes your meals so much easier to get through. And you really can find flexibility. For instance, the one night we have casserole theme. Well, that could be anything. And we've made frittades, we've made eggplant parmesan, we've made a Mexican casserole, shepherd's pie. I mean, the ideas are limitless. However, when I sit down and I have like 10 minutes to plan my groceries for the month and my meals and everything, it's much easier that I know on Thursday we're doing casserole than to have to sit and brainstorm all of those. It also helps when you know that you have busy days. Like on Wednesday, we know that we have co-op. So we plan easy meals. We plan a lunch that can be packed. We have sandwiches that day. We plan a breakfast you just grab and go. And we plan a dinner that goes into the crock pot so that we come home and dinner is ready. It's like having wait staff. If you haven't tried a crock pot or an Instapot, I hear those are even more amazing. I don't have one. It's an amazing tool for homeschool moms because you drop it in the morning when everybody's getting ready, and then at dinner, you have dinner. And it's almost like having a personal chef. So my challenge for you today is just pick one meal. Whatever meal it is that you struggle the most with. Maybe dinner is fine for you. Maybe lunch, you just have sandwiches every day or whatever, so that's not a struggle. But pick one meal and plan themes for 5 days, for the 5 school days. We have themes for Saturday too, but you don't have to do that for the 5 school days. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And pick types of meals that you like. Like maybe you have a Mexican night. Maybe you can have Taco Tuesday. Maybe you could have breakfast for dinner night. My kids always like doing that. Maybe every Friday is pizza or pasta. Maybe every Monday could be chicken. Whatever it is that your family likes. But just sit down for 2 or 3 minutes and make that plan. And then stick to it for the next week and see how much easier it makes your life. Now, if you've already gone grocery shopping for the week, you might have to wait for next week to make it easier. But I promise you that having a meal plan and having everybody know what to expect will definitely decrease your burnout significantly. If you're having trouble with planning or you just don't even know where to start, please feel free to reply to this email and email me back and let me know. I'd love to chat with you, or hop on the group, Homeschool Mom to Mom Support and Chat, and post your struggles, post your themes, and let's chat about it and make your life easier. Have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.